You guys are the 14% Americans that believe in crypto and Bitcoin. The rest, 86%, don't believe it. So that's something I learned today. Hi, everyone. Welcome back. Hope you guys are having a great day. It was nice to see Bitcoin go up, miners go up as well. We're still battling with the 200 simple day moving average on Bitcoin. We'll take a look at what's going on with Bitcoin with the miners as well. We have a lot to cover today. There's a lot of talk about a prediction from Josh. I'm drawing his name, last name. Gosh, last name I can't forget, but we'll get into it. I have his name written down later on. But we got Iren news, we got Bitfarms news, we got Bitdeer news, we got Hive news as well, some adoption news as well, some companies buying news as well. We have a lot to go through today. So we're going to get into all that as always, and I'm going to really, well, we'll get into it all. But you guys know the drill, right? Not financial advice for entertainment only. Please, 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 please do your own research as always. Full disclosure below that, what I'm invested in, and I'm not getting paid by any of the miners. If you enjoy this type of content, hit the like button, subscribe, helps me out tremendously here. And let's take a look at Bitcoin and miners today, what happened there, and we'll get into all the nitty gritty stuff and the fun stuff. So Bitcoin was up today. It had a wild, I wouldn't say it was a wild day, but it was definitely an up and down day. It was down portion of the day, then it came back up, which was nice. But we finished up on the positive side of things. We were up 1.75%. We closed at 84,011 and 40 cents. So that was good there. We're still, like I said, we're battling with the 200 simple day moving average right here. And we've been battling with this doggone sucker for the last 9 days, it seems like. So once we blew through this here on March 9th, we battled with it on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 days right now. We're battling with it. Eventually, I mean, the more times we battle with it, the more times I believe we're going to break above it. That's historically what I've seen, at least on these timelines, at moving averages and all that stuff. I've seen that before, and the more times that we battle with it, the more likely that we are to break above it. So this might be a pretty good setup here. We'll see where we end up later on this week. Bitcoin is down just less than like a percentage point for the month of February right now. Not in February, March. Wow, we're already in March. So it was a pretty good day here. The miners were a little bit more mixed on the day. MicroStrategy was down as well. But here's what we got. So MicroStrategy was down 1.08%. Bitfarms was down just a little bit, 0.9. Bitfarms obviously closed the deal or the merger with the Stronghold there. I thought that maybe they were going to change their name to like BitStrong or something like that after the merger, but it didn't happen here. But you can see Bitfarms, man, they are just trading in a tight range right now as it is. They're going up a little bit and down. Yeah, I mean, you can see this. This has been over like possibly, what, 10, 12 days or something like that. It's been just trading in this range right now. Bitdeer was up a little bit, 1.26%. Bitdeer came out with a new ASIC. We'll talk about that as well. Cypher was up 2.63% here. It's also kind of in the last couple 5 days or so trading in this bottom area here right now. Not looking to go much further lower than that. Cleanspark, same thing. Look at that. About 12 days kind of trading in this range. It was up 1.88%. CORZ was down a little bit here today, 0.57%. Hive was up 0.57%. Hut 8 was up 2.61%. Iren was up 1.94%. I mean, we're seeing a lot of the same stuff here, trading sideways a little bit. Marathon was down 1.59%. It had a nice little rally here, came back down. It's coming back down to lows here, and it's holding on to the lows here. So maybe we are actually getting to the bottom on these guys here and Bitcoin possibly. Riot, same thing, was down 0.77%. It's trading sideways here over the last 5 or 6 days or so. Wolf was basically flat. I mean, again, you can see this. I mean, this might be the bottom for these guys here, the way that they're holding up right now as it is. Some of the smaller miners were up and down. Mawson was up 9.67%. Stronghold, invalid symbol. Stronghold is no longer trading. It was bought out, merged with Bitcoin there. So we'll talk about that in a second here as well. ETFs were up just a little bit, about 0.5% roughly or so. On Bitcoin dominance here is still... it's trading sideways a little bit right now. We did hit a high here. Well, previous high was back here, back in February, but we hit a high here recently, probably on the March of 11th on it. All right, that's that for the miners and Bitcoin here. Not much going on there. Trading sideways here. Accumulation phase possibly happening right now. The network hash rate here has been coming up here. It peaked on, recently at least, it peaked on the 12th of March. It has been coming down a little bit. We're at 814 terahash rate, or exahash, sorry, on that one. If we look at the 30-day average, we can see that we're still trading sideways on that for quite a while. We're at 800 exahash right now, and we've been there, gosh, since February 15th. So pretty much a month here where we've been kind of going sideways on it, which is good. That's good for the miners. Don't mind seeing that. With Bitcoin being where it's at right now, also trading kind of sideways a little bit as well. I like seeing that. So that's good for the miners, like I said. All right, let's get to the news stories that we do have here. There's quite a few of them. Like I said, Bitcoin is down only 0.66% on the month of March right now. Not too bad. Maybe towards the end of the month we might finish out in the green, but we shall see here. All right, Bitcoin ETF inflows as well. We've had a bunch of days here in the red here on that one. Finally, we're getting a pretty good day in the green here. We'll have to wait and see what BlackRock actually provides. BlackRock is the only one that's missing here. This is from Farsight Investors. Now that's the only one that's missing right now, and then we got not a lot of inflows in here on some of these smaller guys. But 232 million inflows here for today. Not too bad. Okay, we'd like to see that more, but as much as we've had outflows in the recent week, couple of days, even weeks, I would say, this is a nice sign here that we're seeing here right now as well. So that might bode well for Bitcoin and the miners as well. All right, let's get into this here. The first good news story that we have here is Metaplanet raises another 2 billion of won to buy more Bitcoin. Right, that's from one of those other companies that keeps stacking Bitcoin here over the last, I would say probably, gosh, 8-9 months or so, maybe even going back 12 months. I don't know exactly when they started buying, but they're like another one of those MicroStrategies. They keep buying Bitcoin when it doesn't really matter. MicroStrategy also bought Bitcoin today. What did they buy? They bought not a lot of, it wasn't a lot. It was, I'm not even going to comment on that one because I don't remember exactly how much they bought, but I know that they bought as well. It was like in the tens of millions of dollars, something like that. I was a little surprised by the low amount they bought. Why couldn't they use the ATM or something like that to buy a lot more? But that is what it is. Okay. This one here. So Bitcoin getting to 444,000. A lot of people are speculating that this was a prediction by Josh Mann, which is Josh Mandel 6, famous trader there. He did predict that Bitcoin would get to 84,000 by March 14th, going back to like October of last year. And he got that right? So now he's saying that Bitcoin will go up even higher, and people calculated that he's talking about getting Bitcoin to 444,000, but I think there's some misconception or misunderstanding on the time frame here. A lot of people are saying Bitcoin's going to go up to 444,000 this year. And I think we'll get into that. I'll talk about some of the things that he might be referencing in here, but here's what he had to say. I hope that I have established a little credibility with a few of you so that this will help. This time is different. The fourth turning is upon us Thursday 11/7, 1/6/25, 3/14/25. And the turning, he's talking about the cycles in basically, I guess the best way to do it would be explain it, I guess. But we'll get into that here in a second. I'll explain this to you guys. But here's what he has to say. It's kind of like a poem that he wrote. When 84 becomes the base, Bitcoin calls will melt their face. This is how you get ahead. Buy IBIT calls in the size instead. 10-1, you'll write it up. The stock it soars into the skies. Then sell the calls and exercise. See the path of Pistol Pete. Try a slug and then repeat. Look every day at a close and lows. When 84 is on the dot, the car will launch a real whole shot. Feel the G's, hear the roar, the coin won't stop, 360 more. So this is we're talking about 360 more price appreciation Bitcoin, right? 360 plus 84 equals 444,000. A trio of fours times a grand. That's the top. The BTC fades. This is how cowboys trade. A nation state down by the sea. I think I'd call it empathy. No more room for hate nor jealousy. Essentials, they would be on me. Work if you want, but just for fun, think in the shade and play in the sun. Actually a pretty good poem, actually. But he's talking about basically Bitcoin getting to 84,000 and then going up 360,000 on top of that gets us to the 444,000 Bitcoin prediction. Nowhere in here does he say that it's going to happen this year, right? If we, I asked Grok, the AI here, and I had to do a deep dive on it, and this goes into what Josh Mandel says here. So while specific price predictions tied to the fourth turning are speculative, some individuals like Josh Mandel, as discussed in Forbes, this time is different. Legendary trader, huge crypto Bitcoin price prediction is suddenly coming true. Have linked Bitcoin price movements to the theory, predicting significant rise like 444,000, mentioning the fourth turning in X post, Josh Mandel on X. However, these are individual predictions that are not backed by broad consensus, right? So he's talking about the fourth turning here. So what is the fourth turning? It's up here actually, and this is what the fourth turning is. The fourth turning, as conceptualized by historians William Strauss and Neil Howe in their 1997 book, The Fourth Turning, in American Prophecy, What the Cycles of History Tell Us About Americans' Next Rendezvous with Destiny. The fourth turning. In a theory that post-American history moves in cycles, each cycle lasting about 80 to 100 years, divided into four turnings: high, awakening, unraveling, and crisis. Right now, we might be in the crisis phase. The fourth turning, or the crisis, is characterized by significant societal upheaval, institutional decay, and transformative change, often triggered by events like wars, economic collapse, or revolutions. Given the current time, March 17, 2025, and based on analysis from sources like Wikipedia, Strauss, Howe, Generational Theory, and short-form books, What is the Fourth Turning? It is widely believed that we are in the midst of the fourth turning, which some sources suggest started at around 2008. Remember the housing crisis, right? The financial meltdown at that point with the financial crisis, and may extend to the early 2030s. So with his prediction of 444,000, I don't think he's talking about this year. That would be, don't get me wrong, I'd love to see that, but I don't think that's anywhere near. I could see that happening in the next 5 years, 7 years. Yes, I could see Bitcoin getting to 444,000, but in no way I don't think he's actually mentioning that it's going to get to 444,000 this year. And this kind of lays it out that he talked about the fourth turning. Fourth turning would be somewhere towards 2030s. It could be early 2030s. It could be also late 2020s, somewhere around there, right, with the halving events. This cycle, a lot of people are thinking that we're going to get to 200,000, 250,000, whatever it might be with Bitcoin later on this year. And then have maybe a correction, a little bit of a one, maybe go up to like 300,000, and maybe if we have an extended cycle, if we go up to 300 some thousand in 2026, have another correction of 30%, go back up in 2027, right? So you can see how this could actually play out. So I would agree with him. 444,000 is doable in the fourth turning, which would be towards the end of it. Not that we're going to do that this year. So it was a little vague on his post there, and a lot of people just, I think, misconstrued it to be that this cycle for Bitcoin. It's not that. It's the fourth turning of basically the way things happen in life and governments and everything else. I read up some more on the fourth turnings and what they talked about in that as well. It's actually pretty interesting. Definitely look into it. They're talking about the depression that we had, the Great Depression, the wars, everything else, and how things have played out. If they do play out that way, kind of interesting to theorize on that. But 444,000 this year, I think it's out of the question. I would be extremely happy if I was wrong on that, but I don't think I am. I don't think anybody's really thinking that 444,000 is going to happen this year. And yeah, that's just it on it. So let me know what you guys think on that. But nonetheless, 444, this fourth turning, I think will happen. I think we might be even higher than that, depending on where we end up at. But 444,000 in the next couple of years, I'll take it. I'll take that as well. I'm not going to bash that at all. So yeah, we'll see. I'm definitely following this guy here going forward, see what he has to say and things like that. And you guys might want to follow him as well on it. All right, so that's it on the 444,000 for Bitcoin here. Let's get into the news stories that we do have here as well. And the first one we're going to do is on Bitdeer. So Bitdeer launches their SealMiner A2 Pro Bitcoin mining machines. Finally, we got some details here, but I'm still missing a little detail here. I'll talk about that as well. So as the updated version of the SealMiner A2, the A2 Pro series includes two models, the air cooling SealMiner A2 Pro Air and the hydro cooling SealMiner A2 Pro Hydro. Both deliver a record-breaking power efficiency ratio of 14.9 joules per terahash, offering higher efficiency ratios, advanced technologies, and enhanced stability. That is perfect. That's great. Power efficiency is 14.9 for both of these guys here. Hash rate on the Air one is 255 terahash to 270 terahash. Power consumption, 3,790 watts to 4,050 watts. That's pulling a lot of watts nonetheless. But power efficiency for the A2, same thing, 14.9. Hash rate, 500 to 530. And then power consumption, that's a lot here, 7,450 to 7,950. My only question is the 14.9 joules per terahash, they didn't provide the details on it. Is it in low power mode, basically, in low economic mode, basically, or something like that, where you reduce the hash rate in that as well. What is that running at? Is that running at normal mode, or is that, I'm guessing it's not going to be up where you overclock it. I'm guessing it's not in that. I'm guessing it's going to be maybe in a mode of underclocking, or is it normal mode? I'd like to know that. They don't provide the specifics on it here. So that's one thing I would like to know. And then the SealMiner A2 Pro series marks a breakthrough in power supply efficiency, achieving 97%. The A2 Pro Hydro features enhanced high temperature performance, operating efficiently with inlet water temperatures up to 60 degrees Celsius and outlet temperatures up to 70 degrees Celsius. Both models retain the series signature low noise design, minimizing operational noise disturbances. That's great news. I'd like to know what those decibels are for those things, but they're saying that they're low, which is, I'll take their word for it. But yeah, this is good news. We got some data here, but I'd still like to have a little bit of more information. What state are they actually running at that point on it? All right, so that's Bitdeer. Let's get into Bitfarms here really quick as well. There's a lot to go over here on Bitfarms. So Bitfarms advances U.S. strategy with completion of Stronghold digital mining acquisition. This happened, I'm guessing, Friday possibly, because it stopped trading Stronghold today. So I'm guessing that happened Friday. So today they announced the successful completion of its previously announced acquisition of Stronghold Digital Mining, Inc. The acquisition of Stronghold yields the following benefits. So what are those benefits here? Well, we have strategic megawatts growth. It increases energy portfolio to 623 megawatts under management. Now they have a new acronym for it. I don't know what you would even pronounce that. MW, I'm not even going to try. With incremental 165 megawatts of active generating capacity and 142 megawatts of immediately available import capacity. They secure 1.1 gigawatt growth pipeline in Pennsylvania, including current power generation capacity, current grid import capacity, and future import capacity. So that's really good there. PJM demand response programs anticipated to reduce overall electricity costs. Think about it as curtailing, right? They're going to curtail there as well. U.S. portfolio expansion rebalances year-end 2024 energy portfolio to 80% North American and 20% international. That's good. Advancement of HPCI strategy. Potential to develop 2 power campuses totaling nearly 1 gigawatt of HPC AI. Okay, that's nice. Strategic partners at WWT and ASG. Prioritizing Stronghold sites for potential HPCI conversion. That's good. And exahash growth. Adds nearly 1 exahash of under management. That's another acronym that they're using here. Exahash under management. Exahum, I guess you would pronounce that. Through existing Canon hosting agreement with 50% profit split, bringing Bitfarms total to 18 exahash under management, basically is what they're saying there. So that's good there. We'll see how long that contract is in place there. And then previously announced Stronghold hosting agreements are now Bitfarms self-mining. So the agreements that they had before where they were hosting it with Stronghold, now they don't have to pay the additional costs or have the additional costs to it. They can just basically get they reap all the benefits from it. And then here's a quote from Ben Gagnon, Chief Executive Officer of Bitfarms. The completion of the strategic acquisition further expands our U.S. footprint and makes us the industry leader in the PJM market. With Stronghold's portfolio of power assets combined with our operational expertise and balance sheet strength, we are all well positioned to create long-term value for our shareholders by executing on our U.S. strategy and developing an HPCI business geared for scale. Our combined PJM pipeline spanning 3 sites in Pennsylvania totals over 1 gigawatt with strategically located land, power, and fiber that is well suited for both HPCI and Bitcoin mining. This marks the start of an exciting new chapter for Bitfarms, and we're thrilled to welcome the talented Stronghold team to write the next chapter with us. Okay. That's great there. Transaction details. Doggone it. Let me see here. All right. Hopefully we're back. Hopefully I didn't lose you guys in the stream here. Bitfarms. Okay, I didn't lose you guys in the stream. All right, that was weird. Bitfarms requires Stronghold in a stock for stock merger pursuant to which Stronghold shareholders receive 2.52 shares of Bitfarms for each share of Stronghold they own, and Stronghold became a wholly owned subsidiary of Bitfarms. Approximately 59,678,000 Bitfarms common shares and 10,574,848 Bitfarms warrants were being issued in connection with the consummation of the merger. In addition, approximately $44.5 million was paid at closing to retire outstanding Stronghold loans. All right. In connection with the completion of the transaction, Stronghold common stock was seized on NASDAQ trading today. Okay. So that's fine there. Based on what we have here, as far as the number of shares, right? 59 million shares roughly, plus what they had reported previously. We still don't have like Q4 numbers for them. So based on the numbers that I have for them, we're looking at like 507 million shares outstanding right now for Bitfarms as it is. All right, so that's definitely increased there. They did pay quite a bit here for 44 million to pay the outstanding loans as well for Stronghold. What does that actually entail? So that's 252. I mean, at today's price is 252 million in shares, roughly. Why is it 59 million shares? So 59 million shares. So they paid. Let me see here. Yes, they paid 59 million, basically 59 million, roughly about 60-some million plus the 40, so $100 million more or less that they paid for Stronghold there. All right, so the good news is this is done and over with. They finally got this done. This is one of those promises, or I wouldn't say a well, it was just a target. They were looking to get this done in the first quarter. They got this done. So this is a target that they actually fulfilled here on time. So that's good news there. The other things that they can now do is hopefully, we'll have to wait and see, but going forward, they should be able to reduce some of the overhead at Stronghold that were duplicate of what they had with Bitfarms for regulatory, finance, all that other stuff might be in there. So that's possibly going to change there. Hopefully, they got to cut some fat on there, right, to make it worthwhile for them. The other good part is it's going to take a little while for them. Maybe they've been working in the background. Maybe they've been working in the background on understanding the whole way the power plants operate, everything else. Maybe that's been already happening there. So it won't take them that long to kind of put their spin on it as well. What can they do better? What can they improve on? What can they, right? That all goes into it. But we do need to see some cost cuts on overhead for employees and things like that. Unfortunately, if you have a merger, you got to do that at times. So I want to see that. I want to see them definitely provide some more guidance going forward as far as what are their plans, things like that for the HPCI business, Bitcoin mining. I'd like to find, maybe we'll find out when they report quarterly. Well, at least Q1. I don't think we're gonna have it. I don't think we're gonna see it in Q4 here, but they might provide it in Q1 as far as contracts with Canon. How long will those last for them? How fast can they grow? All that stuff is going to be important for us going forward to see how they progress. But it's definitely now at the helm of Ben Gagnon here. This was his kind of way of putting his own basically stamp on the company or footprint or fingerprint on the company going forward. Definitely pivoted away from Paraguay. As we can see here recently, selling Paraguay sites to Hive and moving more into the United States as well. Now, so that's going to take some time to work itself out. But it does at least provide us with a somewhat of a more stable path going forward, I think. There was a lot of stuff in the background, in the back of last year, right? Early last year, into middle of last year, with all the stuff that was happening with the shareholders, not the shareholders, sorry. Oh gosh, I'm drawing a blank on the name right now. Not the executive team, but it was the people that were, oh my gosh, I'm drawing a blank. I hate it when I draw a blank. I know what I'm thinking of. I can't just provide the name. It was the, oh gosh, you guys know what I mean. The people in the background, right? The higher ups. You guys know what I mean. Those guys and gals. There were issues with that. There were issues with the CEO, other issues as well. Now they're kind of starting to slowly turn that ship around and into the right direction, I think. We'll see. But we'll see what happens there. The other thing that they changed here was obviously the site for Bitfarms here was updated as well. It was a nice change here. They have a new logo here for Bitfarms, BITF, Bitfarms. I like it. It looks good. The site looks good as well. So I'm not going to complain there. But I thought, like I said at the beginning of the video, I thought they were going to change their name to like BitStrong or something like that. They didn't. They kept Bitfarms, which is fine. So that's it on Bitfarms there. Let me know what you guys think of that one. A little update here for Hive as well. And Hive has hired on a new president for Paraguay. So they are proud to announce the appointment of Gabriel Lamas as country president of Paraguay. Mr. Lamas will lead Hive's operational and expansion in the region in his role, reinforcing the company's position as a front runner in high-performance computing and green energy-powered data centers. So he's got an a proven leader in infrastructure and energy. Gabriel Lamas, a highly accomplished electrical engineer, brings over 20 years of expertise in infrastructure operations and large-scale energy projects, fluent in 3 languages. Wow, okay, that's definitely impressive there. He is known for his technical acumen, leadership, and unwavering discipline. A devoted family man and a dedicated athlete, Lama starts every day with a 5 a.m. workout, a testament to his relentless drive, qualities that will define his leadership at Hive. So you guys can definitely read on the rest of the stuff here. This is nice. We're seeing more and more of this stuff happening with Hive here, getting presidents in different countries and things like that, getting people into the United States as well. This is good, right? You need people to take charge of those areas, to be accountable for those. So this is good. And lastly, we have here on Iren. Iren, if you're listening, please start providing the regular press releases where they are actually like HTML instead of PDFs, because you click on the link in their press release and it gets you in a PDF, which I can't highlight here. So the big thing here is Iren secures 2.7 gigawatts for data centers in West Texas with a new 600 megawatt grid connection agreement. Today they announced the signing of a 600 megawatt grid connection agreement for Sweetwater 2, advancing its 2 gigawatt Sweetwater data center hub in West Texas. Right, they go into some of the details. Why Texas? Power, one of the world's largest renewable energy markets, offering scalable, low-cost electricity, fiber connectivity, multiple high bandwidths, physical diverse fiber paths, low latency, 6 milliseconds to DLS, optimizing AI and cloud workloads, and water efficiency, closed-loop liquid cooling, and significantly reduces water use. All good things there. Sweetwater 2 key highlights. Right, so the 600 megawatts powered secured under a binding grid connection agreement, a real contracted capacity. That's awesome there. Strategic location, 500 acres near existing 1.4 gigawatt Sweetwater, which is about 28 miles away. And Abilene, 39 miles. And then a 2 gigawatt Sweetwater hub, direct fiber loop being designed to link Sweetwater 1 and 2. So they want to link the 2 sites together there. I don't know if you need to. I don't know if anybody's going to really want 2 gigawatts of power. Maybe the hyperscalers would want that, maybe. But I would say don't do that unless you actually have to do that, because that is going to be costly. I mean, you know, tracking fiber for whatever it is, however many miles it is on it, that's going to be expensive. Connection costs, $4.1 million in non-refundable connection cost, $26.9 million in refundable deposits over 12 months. Energizing date late 2027. So they got it, but at least it's going to be a ways out, right? 2027, that's some ways out. Sweetwater 1 is probably going to get hooked up faster than that. But this is good. They at least have that signed in contract. They're good to go. It's all good there. All right. And that's it. That's all I got for you guys here. So let's get into Q&A. See what you guys have. Oh, here's the sites. Yeah. 28 miles between the two. Connecting 28 miles of fiber is not going to be cheap. So like I said, if they can hold off on that until they actually need somebody that says, yeah, we want both sites, okay, then do it. But prior to that, I wouldn't do it. All right, let's get into Q&A. Let's see what you guys have to say. And we'll call it a day here. Oh, a lot of stuff happening here, which is kind of nice. But we definitely want Bitcoin to pump some more. As always, if you guys could preface the question mark with a Q or a question mark itself, I'd appreciate it here. And I'm going to scroll up here. Oh, you guys are busy commenting here. Okay. I'm going to try to find a question mark or question here and work my way down here. All right. Let's see. I think this is the first question that I'm seeing here. Actually got from... Oh, okay. There's quite a few here. Sorry. I'm scrolling up. You guys have been definitely busy. All right. Let me go back. Okay, talked about that as well. Sorry, guys. Namakin says, I think Seb is going to be a bag holder. I'm still a bag holder. You're not going to be wrong on that one. I still think we're going to have a nice run up here later on this year. I could be wrong on that, as always. Let's see. What is the lowest price you can imagine Cleanspark and RM being by end of year? Well, if this was the top of Bitcoin and we go down after that into a bear market, we might be down to $3, $4 for some of these guys, for these guys at least. All right, so something to think about. Mahmoud, I'm hoping I'm pronouncing your name. I apologize if I don't. 176 max for this cycle bull run. That would be actually really close to where I originally thought Bitcoin was going to get to. It was around 180,000. I'll take that. If that's what you think is going to be the top. That's not too far from 200,000. So that wouldn't be too bad. See here. You're talking about Josh there, smoke too much opium and write crackhead poems. I thought his poem was actually pretty good. CL Gamer says BTC will reach 444,000 at the end of the fourth turning during the witching hour. All right, here we go. We got a question. It said, why are we reading poems to predict Bitcoin price now? I'm joking. Thanks for everything. There's been a lot of talk about this 444,000. I've been seeing it. I don't know if you guys have been seeing it, but I've been seeing it a lot over the last couple of days. So I thought we'd talk about it here. He got to the 84,000, on March 14th, whatever it was, right. So, you got one thing right, people start thinking about the other thing that you might get right. So, but again, that's not going to be for a number of years here. I don't think it's going to be this year. But I think a lot of people are saying it's going to be this year, which is not going to be the case. Like I said, don't get me wrong. I'd love to see that, but I don't think it's going to be this man. This year, not this man. It says, why not 555,000 old? Yeah. All right. What else we got here? Mortem says 444,000, certainly insane. Yeah, this year I would say I don't see that happening. Okay. Andre says, question is a joke. Chance of hitting 440 is the same as someone hitting the Powerball lottery. Yeah, so I posted a poll here for you guys on YouTube. Do you think Bitcoin will get to 444,000 this year? 78% of you now think that it's not going to happen. Jackie says, lucky BTC goes to 180,000. Mahmoud says, I'm selling at 176. Yeah. Andre says, lucky if Bitcoin goes to 100,000 again this year. Okay. Jackie says, I'm selling at 150. Yeah, a lot of people are definitely looking to get out. What else we got here? Sorry, guys. I'm trying to read the comments here. Mbessa says, Seb, you're not bullish enough on the 444,000 or Bitcoin going to a 200,000. Which one is it? I'm still bullish on Bitcoin and Bitcoin miners long term. Just trying to ride this cycle out as best as I can here. Sorry, guys. Trying to read. There's a lot of comments here. All right, question here. If planning an early exit, what is the lowest you'd sell a Cleanspark and Iren for just to be done with this circus? I mean, gotta be honest, I'm tempted to kind of just get out of the game now and call it a day. I'm still up. I'm down on Bitfarms, I'm down on Iren, I'm down on Mara, I'm up on Cleanspark. Cleanspark is the only one that's actually still providing me to have a positive. If I sell everything, I'd still be in the positive, right? So whatever I invested in, I'd still be up, I think like 12%. And I was like, looking at it today, I'm like, man, what if this is the end of the cycle here? Do I sell everything now? I'm like, no, I don't think this is a cycle. I think this is just what the big guys want to freak you out, scare you out of the market, have you sell, and then have this stuff run up even more. I think there's just a lot of that happening right now. So I'm still holding on. I think when would I sell? Again, we got to watch where things go. If Bitcoin only goes up to 125, 130,000 by the end of this year, I'm probably going to sell at that point. As long as I'm still in profit, something like that. I may dollar cost average in some more later on. If things come down even more, we shall see. Let's see. SH says he said this cycle, and he referenced 11, 724, 1625, and 314. Yes, he referenced some dates there, but those dates, 314 was the date that he said that Bitcoin would close at 84,000, which is correct. But nothing was mentioned about that. The only thing he mentioned was the fourth turning, right? The fourth turning could be until 2030. So that's one of the things. He didn't provide a date there. He just said the fourth turning. Sarah Mellingham says, been working very hard to diluting Bitfarms shareholders to get them to this point. I don't think it was working very hard to do that. It's tough when you dilute and the price of the stock is low. Obviously, when the stock is between $1 and $3, right, you're going to be diluting more than when the stock would be at $10, $15, whatever it might be. Kind of had no choice there, I think. If they wanted to get the deal done, you got to do what you got to do to build out, grow, and things like that. It's just where the stock is at, and I think the stock is at because of all the other crap that happened before then. Right, Ben's been only in this position for now, what has it been, 8 months, I think, 6, 8 months, something like that. Okay, Yellow, how expensive do you think it will be for Bitfarms to clean up companies' unpermitted coal ash dump mountain in northwestern Pennsylvania? Dump. Well, they're using the spent coal, right? The spent ash coal, and I think they get some. Don't quote me on this, but I think Stronghold was getting some benefits from local, state, or even federal level to clean up those sites. So there's some benefit to doing that, and then using that also to power their generations. But I don't know what the cost is going to be there. Okay. Let's see. Pro wakes up at 5 a.m. To work out. Be right back. Dumping my entire net worth into this stock. That provides. Yeah, I don't know why they include that, but I think that just builds on this character of, determination, being kind of set in his, maybe not set in his ways, but having definitely a plan going forward. Let's see. Why is Iren like this? LOL. Not sure. Well, everything's kind of trading sideways right now. All right, Freddie says, can you show us in your spreadsheets how much both Cleanspark and Iren are undervalued according to your calculations? I can show that to you guys, yeah. Let's go over, where's my spreadsheet? There it is. Okay. Cleanspark here, based on my numbers here, based on the 12 months revenue going forward, right, for February times 12 months, I think they should be between 25 and 38. They're at 812 right now today. Iren, going down here for them, same thing, revenue times 12 months from February, they're at 735. I think they should be somewhere around 24 to 36. That's a PE of 20. I mean, right now, what are they getting? I mean, they're getting probably a PE of what? What is that probably a PE of right now? Somewhere in between here, like a 4 PE. All right, so that's kind of where I see them at. Could be wrong on it as always. So something to keep in mind, right? Things where I thought things were going to be, or the prices of where the stocks I thought were going to be, have not played out this cycle. It is a strange cycle this time around, for sure, though. All right, I need to fix that. Why did that get changed on here? I'll have to change those things. Fix that. Okay, I got something to do. Let's go back here. And I got a sneeze coming up here. Bear with me. Okay, back at it. Let's see. Is Hive cheap at $1.75? It has been this low for a long time. Hive? Yeah, I think it's undervalued. Sorry, guys. I got another sneeze. Wow. Allergies are kicking in again. Yeah, Hive is definitely cheap. Hasn't been, yeah. I think the reason it has been cheap is it's got a high cost to mine a single Bitcoin, at least right now. They need to get to scale. Otherwise, they're a great operator, great balance sheet. All that stuff is fine. They have a HODL position. It's just they need to improve on their cost to mine Bitcoin, I think. Why is Bitcoin down in spite beating earnings estimates? Like every other miner here, Cleanspark beat estimates, Iren beat estimates. They went up a little bit and then they came back down. I think it's the same thing. It's just the market is what it is right now. Question is, MicroStrategy HODL Bitcoin and Bitcoin popularity rising. Can you see people holding MicroStrategy longer term? Possibly, if we have a longer term in Bitcoin cycle, right? Because historically, MicroStrategy has followed Bitcoin to the upside and also to the downside. If that continues on, people will get out of MicroStrategy as well. Let's see. Kaz says everyone's saying they getting out at 150,000. True is most are gonna buy. Not sure I understand. True is most are gonna buy. You're saying like the retail's gonna buy at that point or something like that. Truth is most are gonna buy. Oh, instead of selling at 150,000, I'm going to buy, actually. Okay. Seb, save my bags, save my soul. Tell me Riot will still cross 50 before end of year. Riot at 776 right now, it would be, what, 8x roughly? 7x roughly, like that, something like that. Bitcoin need to go to 200,000, 250,000, somewhere around there for it to do that, unless they come up with a great HPCI deal or something like that. Sadie, thank you so much. Is Mara not just the safest bet? I think it's one of the safer bets. I wouldn't just say it's the safest because you just never know where things end up in the space. One good news story for any of these guys pumps them like crazy here, so I wouldn't rule that out. All right, question. If Bitcoin is trending to a store of value, then it should stabilize and miners will need to become more valued on profit forecasts and less of speculation of overshot or of value. True? I would think so, right? So if we get into this maybe a prolonged cycle where Bitcoin just goes up, it continues to go up, right? But it goes up slower and slower each time, but the value still goes up quite nicely because, well, at least percentage-wise it'll go up slower, but value-wise it'll go up nicely. If that happens, then yes, the miners should, in theory, as long as the network hash doesn't go crazy, the miners should be valued much better over time, I think, because they have steady revenue streams instead of having these huge ups and then huge decreases, right? So I think if that happens, I think they would do better. And we'll have to wait and see if, how does 2025 play out? How does 2026 play out and beyond that as well? Let's see. Yellow Miner says the Pennsylvania DEP and Stronghold Digital Mining have agreed to clean up the company's coal ash dump in Venango County by September 1st, 2026. Okay. Like I said, I don't know anything about that one. But now that's going to be on Bitfarms, obviously, to clean it up as well. Sorry, guys. My allergies are starting to kick in. Sorry for the sniffling. Let's see. Is it time to start accumulating Bitfarms or stick with the best miner in Cleanspark through this bull run? I would say I would go more into Cleanspark. Like, I'm personally more into Cleanspark, but you got to do what you got to do. I saw in a little bit of Bitfarms shares there as well. I'm holding on to them to see how they do. Right? They might surprise us. That's the only reason I'm holding on to them right now. Let's see. The EPA finalized a new rule that will force power plants across the country to clean up hundreds of coal ash dumps that have been leaking toxic into groundwater. Well, I think that's a good thing. And Stronghold has been doing that, where they've been working on using that spent coal to, run their power plants and things like that, and clean up the sites as well. Let's see. I think the cycle got weird the moment Trump got involved last year. Downhill since his involvement, hyping the SBR, Street Bitcoin Reserve. Well, we had a pump. We had a pump really before Trump got into crypto, which was we had a pump with the ETFs, right, before the halving event. Then Trump came in later on towards the summer, and he, went to the Bitcoin mining conference there. It's one of those things that kind of not really pumped us, but we kind of stayed flat here. And then as we got closer to his election, and then once he won, that definitely helped out there. But recently, it's more based on the price of Bitcoin going down, the market's going down, and everything else because of the tariffs, I think. B82 says, one concern I have with miner value is depreciation on mining equipment and it needing replacement very often. Will BTC ever get ahead so there is real margin in mining business? Yes, if we have an extended cycle. If Bitcoin goes up, right, it still goes up, but it still comes down like 30%, 35%, whatever it is. I think that would bode well for you could possibly then depreciate the miners over a longer period of time, like 5 years instead of the 3 years that's historically seen here. I think that would be great. And as long as the network hash doesn't go crazy going forward. But that's a lot of what ifs. See, MicroStrategy is a great buy under 250. I think, now where it's at, I think it's a much better buy than what it was at $500. Why is Bitfarms not pumping on any news at all? Right now, it's the market. Any kind of good news could come out, but it's just the market in general and the sentiment in the market. I think that's holding it back. The dilution that we saw here, obviously, with the purchase of or merger of Stronghold, 59 million shares being added there. That didn't help out. see. Yeah, Sarmelin Gaming says, one thing Bitfarms will surprise you is how largely they will dilute. Yeah, I mean, that's one of the concerns there with Bitcoin price, or Bitfarms price being at close to $1 or something. Let's see. BTC crashed right after ETFs were launched when everyone was expecting it to go up. Maybe we see a repeat with SPR. Maybe. Okay. Why buy MSTR or Mara or other miners instead of IBIT? Historically, MicroStrategy does do, at least like a 2x on Bitcoin. Miners historically have done better than that. More like a 3x, 4x, 5x, whatever it might be. So that's the reason why. It's not playing out this way this cycle. But I mean, at times Mara was, or MicroStrategy was, much better outperforming Bitcoin here. And when it got to like $500 per share, it came back, it just got overextended. Chris says, Ben the Electrician is an amazing CEO. Like I said, give him a little time. He's been here only 6 to 8 months or something like that, whatever it's been. All right, guys, we're going to call it a day because my nose is starting to really drain here now with whatever allergies I got right now. And I get this from time to time. I get it like sometimes in the morning, I get it at night. I have it for about half an hour, 45 minutes, and then it goes away. It's the craziest thing. It sucks getting old. I don't know how you guys feel about it, but getting old sucks. Wish there was some kind of injection for staying young and healthy till, live 150 years, 200 years. That'd be great. But in the meantime, we got to deal with what we have. All right. So we'll see what happens tomorrow with everything else. We got FOMC meeting on Wednesday. I don't know if we have any economic data tomorrow. I thought there was something coming up tomorrow as well. So that we'll talk about that. We'll talk about anything else that happens tomorrow as well. But yeah, that's all I got for you guys. Again, thank you so much for coming in as always, you guys and gals. Love you all. I hope you guys are doing well. I hope you guys are healthy at least, staying positive as best as you can. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. All right. Have a great night, everyone. I'll see you then.